Hey, it's Drake, and I'm going to talk to you about the play Mr. Burns. So, some things that really stood out to me was just honestly how confusing it was at first. They kind of threw you in with no background information, no context. You had to really just figure it out all on your own, which I didn't care for that much, but it was their style and it was different, so it definitely stood out. And then another thing was how dark it was. Never had read anything like that, so that stood out to me. Some of the big themes were just trust. In Act 1 and 2, we saw trust a lot with the groups of friends, how they're all kind of trustworthy to each other. But then in Act 1, when the new character arrived, they were all super distrustworthy and had to do like a full information grab with this new person who they didn't know. And then kind of in Act 2, we saw at the very end with the strangers who appeared, a total distrust in them too. Another big theme is like fallout. So since the play takes place after electricity and all that, it's kind of just like giving us a view of what maybe our society would be like if that were to happen. And more just kind of like that's just the general theme, like it's the background, I guess. And lastly, another big theme is just theater, honestly, because it is a play within a play, and we see this a couple times. That's kind of just the whole driving point behind what the play is trying to get the point across. So moving on, we do see a play within a play, which is meta theater. The whole entirety of Act 3 is just kind of the end of their play. So some characteristics about this is that there's definitely a distinction between Act 2 and 3, but they're also connected because Act 3 kind of just picks off where Act 2 leaves off, and then we also see a dramaturg, which we can relate back because that would be Colleen. She kind of coordinated everything in Act 2, so this is definitely a very relative to other theater things. And lastly, the theme is like a dark comedy, which every play should have a theme. So that's this one. We see that everywhere. Another thing is that Act 3 picks off right where Act 2 leaves off. That's just how these two kind of correlate. That's the big part behind it. Another aspect of how they are connected is we see other character interaction, such as in Act 2 where the characters make sound effects, and then in Act 3 where we have like the chorus and other characters who still kind of participate, but in the background. And that's just in Act 3. So we see other character interaction. And then lastly, a big connection between them is in Act 3. We see Bart losing everything, and that's similar how to in Acts 1 and 2 we have those characters who essentially have lost everything. They do have their friends, but their life as a whole they've lost a lot, and we see Bart lose everything too. So the next question is how does this relate? So we see like even without electricity, plays will always be performed. It's just kind of like what we see now we can take from it is that plays will always be performed no matter the circumstances. So question 4, a potential thing in our culture today that might live on given this circumstance. Definitely like anything superhero related, because like everyone likes superheroes. I mean, mostly everyone. And this would definitely be good for a post like apocalyptic setting per se, because like you can look up to a superhero, they'll like always try and do what's right. They're positive. You can look forward to them like being happy and motivating and all that. It definitely gives you something to look forward to. It's kind of like utopia, given the horrible situations. And so lastly, my question, the first one is, how long did it take you to figure out what had really happened and like what the backstory was? Or did you not figure it out at all? And the other question is, who do you think were the people that came at the end of Act 2? Thanks.